You know when you write a C program and you just want to tell it what to do right from the moment you hit enter? Well, today we're going to unlock a really fundamental and powerful feature, command line arguments. This is how you give your programs all their instructions before they even start running. So think about it. Most of the time, how do you use a program? It launches and then it just sits there, waiting for you to click something or type something or pick an option from a menu. But what if we could just flip that whole script? What if you could give the program all of its instructions right from the very beginning? Yeah, so you've got this standard way, right? The program runs, then it stops and asks you for input. It works, it's interactive, but it means you have to be there, guiding it along. But on the other side, there's a much more powerful way. You give it everything it needs, all the info right up front when you launch it, and that way, well, that's the key to real efficiency and automation. And that is exactly what we're talking about today. We're formally introducing the idea of passing inputs directly from the command line. This isn't about some fancy graphical interface. Nope. This is about giving your program direct orders right from that text-based command line. So just picture this for a second. Instead of running your program and having it ask, please enter a number, you just type myprogram.exe 1020. That's it. The program launches, it instantly sees the numbers 10 and 20, and it gets right to work. No waiting, no prompts, just pure execution. So how does a C program actually see and understand these instructions you've passed along? It's not some kind of dark magic, I promise. It's actually a really cool built-in mechanism that uses two very special variables, argc and argv. So let's meet them. And the gateway to all this power? It's the main function itself. Now, you're probably used to seeing void main with those parentheses totally empty. But just by adding these two parameters, in argc and char argv array, you unlock this whole new world of receiving inputs from the command line. These two variables are the keys to the whole kingdom. First up is argc, and that C, just think count. It's that simple. It's just an integer, a plain old number. Its entire job is to tell you how many separate items or words were typed on the command line when you ran the program. It's basically your program's first question. Hey, how much stuff did they give me to work with? All right, next we have argv. Now, that V stands for vector, but argument vector sounds a little intimidating, right? Don't worry about that. Just think of it as an array. That's all it is. So if argc is the count of things you typed, argv is the actual array that holds all those things as text. Each word you typed is stored as its own separate string inside this array. Okay, theory is one thing, but seeing it happen is where it really clicks. Let's take a super simple command and see exactly what happens inside the program with argc and argv. Let's break it down. Let's trace this. So you go to your terminal and you type myprogram.exe, hello world. The operating system sees three distinct words there, separated by spaces. So what happens? Boom. Inside your program, argc is automatically set to 3. Then the argv array gets filled up. And here's a really important detail. The program's own name, myprogram.exe, is always the very first thing in the list, at argv0. Then the next word, hello, goes into argv1, and world lands in argv2. It's a simple, predictable system every single time. So how do we actually get at this stuff in our code? Well, take a look at this short program. This is the classic example. It's just a for loop that starts at I equals 0 and runs as long as I is less than argc, our argument count, and inside that loop, it just prints out each string from the argv array, one by one. This loop is the fundamental pattern you'll use over and over. And notice it prints them as strings using %s. That's so important. Even if you type a number like 10, it comes into your program as the string 10, not the number. You'd have to convert it yourself if you wanted to do math with it. Okay, so we've got the how down. We know the mechanics. But what about the why? Why is this feature so important? Honestly, it all boils down to one massive, game-changing word, automation. This is how you build tools that can be run by other programs, by scripts, by systems, without a person needing to be there at all. This is where the real power is, you guys. Command line arguments are the engine of automation. I mean, think about it. When you compile your code, you type gcc myprogram.c-o myprogram. Guess what? Myprogram.c and -o myprogram are just command line arguments. They tell the GCC compiler exactly what to do without it ever having to ask you.
This lets you write scripts that can run your tools on hundreds of files, schedule tasks to run in the middle of the night. You can build these massive, complex workflows, all because your programs can be controlled from the outside.
And that really brings us to the end of this little deep dive. We've seen how to feed information into our C programs right from the launch command. We've decoded argc and argv, and we've seen why this is absolutely essential for automation. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you have this power, now that you can give your programs their instructions right from the very start, what kind of powerful tools are you going to build?